Hello, it's Liz, Embodied Feminine Energy. I'm going to start a free series of Get to Know the Goddess. My particular spiritual lineage is with the goddess, and the Divine Feminine path opened out for me after I finished my 500 hours Hatha Yoga. And I finished that course, and I love the teachings, and I still practice and recommend my school. But I was left wanting to know about the goddess. I wanted more about the feminine, and I got what I asked for. So my personal spiritual path has been about exploring and beginning to channel and connect with the divine feminine energy when I sing kirtan in particular, when I chant goddess mantra, but also when I read tarot cards. And I offer here free monthly readings channeling the divine feminine energy for the collective men and women that's rising within us all and rising as a result in our environment. But I have these beautiful cards by Watterson, the divine feminine, and in them are a lot of the goddesses which I haven't come across yet. My personal journey started with Durga, the warrior goddess, and then Lalita. She's like the sexual, empowered beauty of the three worlds. She's also known as Tripura Sundari. I've looked at Kali quite deeply. There's no light way to engage with Kali, the dark goddess. But I'm exploring more Mary Magdalena, Mother Isis. So I wanted to share these very short video series with you. So the first goddess that we're looking at that I've been guided to today is Teresa of Avila. Not a goddess that I know anything about. She's the lady of the interior life, and her manifestation, her prayer is, I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. So I'm going to read you from the book that comes with these cards, but I also asked my traditional tarot cards for some guidance into her energy. And we came up with the World, Major Arcana card, the Magician, another Major Arcana card, and then the Three of Cups, which is Sisters Celebrating. This card, this energy is about going inside, going inwards, knowing that the fruits and the abundance is all within us. And the World card, for me, is the culmination of cycles, and we've been coming to the end of a cycle, and this new moon that happened yesterday is about planting new seeds to manifest the Magician for the future. In my new moon reading, there was a lot of fire, a lot of activity. And what Teresa of Avila is saying is slow down, learn to be, learn how to meditate and go within. And this is the energy that's guiding us forward in this new cycle. And this is the feminine energy, and it's time to celebrate. It's time to connect with our sisters, for men and women, but tap into this divine feminine energy of being and not doing. And this is the new cycle that's starting with the culmination of the last cycle. So the World card is the endings and the beginnings. And if we want to manifest blessings into our lives, we do it from within. We go inside, we meditate, and we feel into a heart space in order to bring our dreams, our wishes into reality. So that's my interpretation of her energy through the tarot cards. I will read you the excerpt from the book. So with passion and conviction, Teresa of Avila connects us to the love and truth available to us whenever we turn inwards. Saint Teresa was born in Spain in 1515. As an adolescent, she experienced many illnesses and was confined to a bed, which allowed her to begin to explore her own thoughts. She read every book she could find on spiritual exploration and contemplative prayer. By the time she was a young adult, she knew she wanted to dedicate her life to the interior world. She entered a convent in Avila in 1535. She increased the emphasis on contemplative prayer and eventually reformed the order of the convent, which was joined by the St. John of the Cross. Over the course of her life, she founded 17 convents throughout Spain. At the age of 44, she began to have a series of visions that convinced her that Jesus Christ appeared to her in bodily form and yet remained invisible to the human eye. These visions lasted for 2 years and would inform her books, especially the spiritual masterpiece, The Interior Castle, which charts the ascent of the soul as an inner journey through 7 mansions or 7 states of being that exist within us. So there's also 7 chakras, correlation there. Ultimately, Teresa wrote in the hope of assisting her sisters in the convent to also reach the innermost castle where God dwells in our soul. She reminded them that we ourselves are the castle, and that the door of entry into this castle is prayer and meditation. Her own personal spiritual experience is at the root of her instruction. The closer she gets to the seventh mansion where her soul ascends, this requires her going further inwards, where the stronger the light is. She describes the ways to discern the voice and presence of the divine within us, and the certainty of God that arrives, that cannot be explained or doubted. This inner journey was so significant to Saint Teresa because she believed that God didn't care about the magnitude of anything we do, but rather the amount of love that we do with it. Pope Paul IV named Saint Teresa a Doctor of the Church in 1970. Her spiritual writings are considered integral to the Spanish Renaissance and to the history of Christian mysticism. When we select this card, Saint Teresa is a call for the importance of the interior life. She knew intimately about the spiritual wealth we all possess and have access to if we're willing to go inwards. She not only emphasised the need to meditate and to pray in order to reach that innermost castle where the soul waits for us, but she also instructed the sisters of her convent on how to discern the presence of the soul or of a saint or of a holy person that is giving us wisdom from within us. She had a bookmark that supposedly read, "If you have God, you will want for nothing. God's love suffices." This synthesises the wisdom of her experience. Nothing less than divine love will satiate a seeker, especially once you have met it from within. She urges us to meditate, to pray, to go inwards and meet with the presence of the soul. And then she asks for us to believe that it is real and that the answers we find are real. She asks us to move that inner truth out into the world with confidence and conviction. So the world, how we communicate, go inwards to begin a new cycle, magician manifesting, bringing the internal into the external, and sharing and celebrating with our sisters like she did. Teresa of Avila, the lady of the interior life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you with the next goddess soon.